like a snake, and they weren't allowed to go backwards or sideways or anything like that. Now it's competitive, so we try to look as fancy as we can. Then there's a traditional, they move a little bit slower, and their drum beat's a little bit different. But the men's traditional, they can move slow, but a lot of the men's traditional have gotten a lot fancier too, where they do a lot more footwork and spinning and turning. And so, yeah. This moccasin is falling off.
I'm thinking it's pretty difficult, but that's okay.
Where you only pin down every 4 or 5.
Okay.
That's lazy stitch. Well, we're actually, one of the reasons why we kind of retired was just because it was a time, like dancing, it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of, I guess, self-sacrificing. You can't be drinking or things like that when you're dancing and stuff, and you can't, like when you're making an outfit, you can't think bad thoughts about people or anything, or just be mad. If you start getting mad while you're doing it, then you're supposed to put it down and leave it. Even if it has to, like, say you want to have your outfit done by the weekends because there's this really big powwow and you have to look good, you're not allowed to touch your outfit.
Negative.
Yeah, with negative thoughts in it. Yeah, and if you start dancing just for the competition too, you have to slow down. And I think that's one of the things I started doing too, because I got really competitive, and it started getting to a point where I was saying, well, I don't want to go to that powwow. They don't have enough prize money. So it gets that commercial. They become really commercial and really competitive. Another thing is, you know, I wanted to settle down. My son was starting school, and we wanted to try to spend more time with my mom and have her home on the weekends, and so, you know, that was another thing we said. And so we figure if we're going to start dancing again, we're going to start new, and doing that we have to have all new outfits, all new beadwork, and so we haven't started on that yet because we get all of our beads from the States. When we feel like we're going to get back into it, we're going to make a trip down there and get all of our beadwork, like get all of our beads so we can start our beadwork.
So do you have beading parties? Like where people come and help you?
No.
You just do it all by yourself?
Yeah, me and my sister. Well, when we first, like we were brought up in powwows where my mom took us when we were really little, and she quit taking us because we wouldn't want to dance. She'd tell us, get out there. No, we don't want to dance. We want to play with all of our friends. And so finally she said, well, if you're not dancing, I'm not taking you. And so we started getting interested again when we got to about the age 11, 12, and we started getting back into it. And we said, Mom, we want to dance. And she said, if you want to dance, you have to make your own outfit. If you really want to dance that bad. And I said, well, I don't know how to bead. So she said, well, if you really want to dance, then I'll teach you. So she started teaching us how to bead and do our own beadwork, and so our first outfits were fully beaded on the back and the front. Everything was fully beaded. And it took me about 10 months to do mine, and it took my sister about the same time. We both danced fancy back then. And then after that, well, I got old enough to have my own driver's license and stuff, and so pretty soon my mom said, well, just as long as you take your sister, you can go. So she started letting us travel across the country when we were 16, 17, going to powwows and stuff, and we'd load our tent up in the car and we'd take off, and sometimes we'd take off a little bit longer and phone her from Arizona in the middle of the week. Mom, we ran out of money, but we want to go to this other powwow. Can you send us somebody? We're stuck. But yeah.
Did you send it?
Yeah, she would send it, yeah. Yeah.
That's a good mom.
Yeah, she always said, you know, she admitted it too. She said, I never had the money, but I always ended up scraping it up just to get us out there. Yeah, and it was good because, you know, we know a lot of people, we know a lot of spiritual people, and sometimes when it gets really bad, that's, you know, we can always go to POW and there will always be somebody there that helps us out really good. So, yeah, help pull us bounce back from the void, and
That's awesome.
yeah, but it keeps you positive, because if you're not positive,
Go ahead.
but if you don't stay positive, then people start questioning you, and saying, like, there was a woman that got into crack, and she was a real high-profile dancer, and she took the world's twice. Like, we have a $1 million powwow in Hartford, Connecticut, and the Pequot tribe puts it on, and she won that. Like, if you can win that one, then you're good. And she took that twice, but she got into crack and cocaine, and she was at a powwow, and somebody heard of it, and they took her outfit from her, and they said, we're not giving it back to you until you smarten up. And her outfits were worth about $2,000, and she had more than one.
Wow.
And they said, we don't want to see you competing, and we don't, and it was harsh, but she was a really good dancer, but you could tell when she was on something, and they said, you can't bring that into the circle, because it's a place where you pray. You can't be intoxicated in any type of way. You can't dance with bad feelings, and you can't, because it could hurt other people. And so that they said, until you have a good mind, then you can come back.
That's good. That's community.
Yeah, yeah. And we're from so many different places too. It's we could be gone. We were gone for a year, and we went to Kamloops powwow, and we hadn't been to a powwow in a year. And we got there, and as soon as we got there, it's hugs everywhere. Like, where have you been? I've been looking for you every weekend. Where have you been? And, you tell them I just kind of retired, and they're like, why? I never thought we would. We thought we'd do powwow bums for the rest of our life, but it gets to a point where you have to slow down a bit, because it can get expensive if you don't place. Like, when my sister was placing, like when she was dancing traditional, she was taking first and second, so we always had guaranteed gas money home.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And then the person I was seeing before, he placed all the time too, so we always managed to get back and forth, and they, whoever didn't place ended up driving, so a lot of the time